All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Sorrow Dog Training Live, and just welcome to Sorrow Dog Training Dog Owners Coffee Lounge. Hope you're doing well. I hope you have exercised yourself and your dog. Annie in the background there, she's calming herself. Welcome, and hope you're doing well. I hope everything is going well. Hope you have exercised your dog, and hopefully you have had a good Halloween. I hope your dog didn't freak out, didn't have a nightmare. And also, this part of the world, we have just switched to mountain time. The time zone has changed as time. Yeah, the time that we were on, we are following the mountain time. I don't know about you, but yeah, it's kind of confusing. All right, so I wanted to welcome you to the show, and also I've come up with the name of Dog Owners Coffee Lounge. We're gonna call it. Hopefully, you have your coffee or your drink ready to go. We're gonna drink and have a little chat. And today, I wanted to talk to you about an interesting thing that I came across, and I'm gonna share my screen so you can see it. So, I don't know if you know Dr. Brian Hare. I'm gonna show this screen. Oh, this should be good. That's Brian Hare in the middle. Recently, he had a conversation with Dr. Karen Becker and Rodney Habib regarding new studies that he has done about puppies and development stage and all that. But recently, he also wrote an article that I'm gonna share with you. It's uh, it's about the study that he has done, but mainly I wanted to share this with you that we can kind of learn what's going on with the dog. So let's see this part first, and then we'll come back.
Podcast, where we cover unique and interesting stories for you. In this episode, we will discuss how humans are shrinking dogs' brains. In a very interesting study, the scientists have claimed that the brains of the domestic dogs are comparatively smaller than those of their wild ancestors like the wolf. The study, which has been published in Hungary, states that the brains of domestic dogs have become smaller because they have been kept in simpler environments where they are not required to use their brains like their wild counterparts. Although the experts have stated that there can be other reasons behind the shrinking size of brains in domestic dogs, however, those have not been identified so far. The scientists, however, have hinted that those species in the dog family living in the wild do not have a shrinking brain because of reasons like hibernation. The study was headed by Laszlo Zsolt-Garamszegi from the Institute of Ecology and Botany, Center for Ecological Research, Hungary. The dog is a canid species that was domesticated from its ancestral species, the grey wolf, at least 15,000 years ago. Over 400 breeds of dogs exist today, and the overall pattern is that relative brain size is dramatically reduced in dogs as compared with the ancestral species, the grey wolf, it added. Researchers and vets have accepted this theory that the size of dog brains has shrunk because of domestication over centuries. As per the study, domestic dogs have to face fewer cognitive demands in comparison to wild dogs, whether it is finding mates, avoiding predators, and foraging for food.
It's interesting, right? I wanted to expand on that a little bit from my point of view. So, Dogs in general, they have been bred and designed by humans for humans. And years ago, many centuries ago, when we started breeding dogs, there was a purpose for that dog to be bred, or to be coming to live or work for the human. And that purpose now doesn't exist in the dogs, in today's dogs. And what it has caused, it has caused the dogs to not to be doing things, activities or things that a natural and normally a dog would do. Like, for example, a beagle who's been bred to hunt rabbits, it's not hunting rabbits anymore. What it's doing at the moment is just chilling at home, is not going for hunting, is not doing any activity as similar to what beagle has been bred, for example. So what it has caused is that their brain size has been shrunk. So one of the things that I've learned is, when, for example, even humans, if we don't use our brains to its natural limit, and also, or um, expand and push our brains, when we are you've learned the phrase, use your brain. If we don't use our brains just, they don't exercise. So the exercise for the brain, when we are working out, let's say at the gym or something, the exercise for the brain is to learn and to think and to do stuff which are more cognitive activities, right? And if the dogs are not doing that, they're not searching, they're not hunting, um, they're not scavenging, they're not looking for food, or they're not doing any of these activities, their brain size shrinks. So there's a good thing and there's a bad thing happening there. But I wanted you to know that that's what we are going to talk about today. Let's continue listening to the rest of this study.
Because domestic dogs need less brain power, their size has gradually shrunk, as per the theory. This phenomenon is thought to be a result of the decreased necessity for metabolically costly brain tissue in a domesticated environment, the team stated. The researchers tried to understand if domestic dog brains had actually shrunk in comparison to the wild dogs. To analyze this, they checked the brain and body size of 25 canid species, which included the common raccoon dog, Nyctereutes procyanoides, the domestic dog, Canis familiaris, and the grey wolf, Canis lupus. In this analysis, it was found by the researchers that there was a substantial decrease in the brains of the domesticated dogs in comparison to their wild ancestors. However, the domestic dog had a comparatively large brain size in relation to few other species. In the study, it was discovered that the common raccoon dog is a more pronounced outlier in the aspect of brain size reduction. The brain of the common raccoon dog is unusually small in comparison to its body size, and the researchers believe it was because only this species hibernates. That's all from this podcast.
So that's interesting. I'm not sure about raccoon dogs. I haven't studied raccoon dogs. I haven't figured out what raccoon dogs breeds are. But in general, that's interesting to learn and understand that dogs in general, they're not functioning the way they used to. So that this is another article that I came across, and that's talking about almost the same things, that dogs are evolving to fit the modern lives of humans. And we're going to go a little bit in depth in this article. But dogs in general, they I was just talking to one of my clients yesterday. Um, let's say a beagle or a dog toller or a border collie has been bred to, like border collie to herd, a beagle to chase rabbits, find rabbits, and dog tollers to find ducks. Um, they've been bred for that purpose, right? And they're not doing those activities anymore in this day and age. So in the past, when we were breeding, for example, the beagle, uh, our goal was to allow the beagle to work on its own by itself and go and find the the rabbit, right? That was the goal and the purpose of breeding the beagle, for example. um, and what happened then was, we bred independency and also um, wanted the beagle to be going on its own. But tables have turned now, and what we are asking the beagle, for example, don't hunt, don't go after the rabbit and walk beside me, which is the complete opposite of what a dog has been bred for. So what that does, it causes a lot of challenges in dog owners, and dog owners and dog lovers like you and me, we are, we are in love with the dog, but maybe we don't understand the breed itself completely, and that's when the challenges starts, where we are forcing the dog to do something that is unnatural, and then we're asking ourselves to get the results that are unrealistic, right? So it's an interesting concept that we're going to talk about it a little bit more today. I see there's a question from Kim Jacobs. Would dog puzzles help their brains? I think it would. It would do some help. You want to keep your dog's brain moving and be active in a way. Um, so anything that you do to accomplish that, I think it's beneficial. One downside with dog puzzles that I have found, because those dog puzzles are man-made, what it does, it doesn't provide complete nourishment for the dog from cognitive activity point of view. So what I mean by that is, for example, you buy dog puzzle for your dog. I don't know, I've seen few of them, but I can't remember the name of them. But your dog is going to figure it out within a day or two, how the system works and what it does. It just becomes another activity for the dog, that, oh, I know what it is, and they get bored of it, and that it doesn't have that natural instinctive results that a dog should get from, let's say, a puzzle. So either they get bored of the puzzle, or they figure it out and they don't care about it anymore. Also, uh, most of these, as I said, these puzzles are made by humans, and um, although you know, uh, made by humans, I think mostly designed for, let's say, a kid, human kid. Idea is behind the idea behind it is to, yes, to it's for the dogs, but it's mainly for kids. For dogs, puzzles like that don't really help. um, I suggest to do something that is more natural for your dog, your breed of dog. For example, if you have a beagle, I would suggest, taking it to a park that you can, if you're not 100% confident to off leash your beagle, for example, all you have to do is just attach a long leash or long rope to your beagle, and just take it to the park and let it do what it naturally does, which is sniffing and wandering in the woods and going up and down and doing all those things. That's more of natural activity that not only stimulates them physically but stimulates its brain, because when they're one of the things that they do, they smell, right? And when they're smelling, the nerves are connected to their brain, and that's how they naturally for example stimulate the brain. And that's one of the best ways of stimulating an eagle, for example, and offering a puzzle to a beagle. If you have the opportunity to do that, that's one of the best ways of stimulation for a beagle. A dog toller, for example, if you could mimic the activity of finding a duck, there are toys that they look like duck. You can work with them to take them to a place that they can practice and just exercise that activity with um, with obviously controlled environment, with controlled situation. If you have a border collie, for example, there are places who would rent their herds for you to take your friendly border collie to do some herding and things like that. I would say, focus on those. Uh, Puzzles in general, I would say they're good, but they don't last too long, unfortunately. So let's go through this article. Let me just prepare it so we can read this together. Let's see. Preset. So dogs are evolving uh, to fit modern lives of humans. This change has not only transformed their nature, but it also fueling a new wave of domestication, a novel concept shedding light on the complex dynamics of dog-human relationship. Uh, our fast-paced contemporary lifestyle is largely sedentary, trading large open spaces for urbanized environment. This shift in human lifestyle has extended to our pets, changing their nature and behavior. This societal evolution and our enduring desire for friendly, tranquil pets is driving what experts are calling a dramatic third wave of dog domestication. I'm going to expand on that a little bit. So basically, what this is talking about is the first, the third wave of domestication. The first wave was actually when in the like 100 how many years, 50,000, 70,000 years ago, apparently. That's the number that I've researched. That's when the wolf kind of merged into humans and started living with humans, and humans noticed that they could benefit from the relationship that they're going to have with the wolf. So they invited the wolf to come and live with them. The wolf was getting the benefit of food and easy food from the human, and the human was getting benefit of having a guard animal who would protect the human, and also it will let the human know that there was danger out there. So that was the first wave, the first initial approach of the wolf to human. The second wave is when we started actually breeding these wolves to different breeds of dogs. And the third wave is the wave that humans started becoming more um, uh, living in more modern lifestyle. Um, our in a way urbanized lifestyle, right? That changed the dynamics of the life a dog would have with human. So in the first wave, the wolf approached the human. They started living together in a way naturally. The second wave was when we started breeding the dogs, um, because we needed help in this part, in that part. So we needed help with the herding, the herd, the goats and the cows and the sheeps. So we bred border collie type of dogs, and we used them. We needed a dog who could protect us. We bred the Doberman and things like that, German Shepherd. We needed a dog who could help us to hunt. We bred beagles and dog tollers and such and such. So you see, that was the second wave. Annie, for example, she's a mixed breed. So she has Beagle and Collie in there mainly, Basset and all that. So she's kind of an ideal dog for me. She has tendency to uh, protect, hunt, and also be um, uh, beagle too. She sniffs a lot and she also protects the house. So I get both words. But the third wave was when, so those dogs that they were bred for the second wave, they were naturally again living with humans, among them, with them. Most dogs were becoming a family dog. They were working and living and sleeping in the house and going to work in the morning in the farm, and or in the going for hunting and things like that. The third wave was when the I would say about 100 years ago or so, that we modernized our lifestyle, and we started developing urban lifestyle, cities and cars. Removed the horses. We used to go to school with horses, apparently. Not apparently, but we used to. And we replaced the horses with cars and modern lifestyle and all that. So that changed and became the third wave. So that's what the third wave is. So the evolving relationship with dogs, this shift mirrors an uprising in oxytocin levels with dogs. Oxytocin, often referred to as the love hormone, is key player in the social bonding. This hormone is credited for dogs' innate desire to interact with their human counterparts. Wanted to touch on this as well. Just give me a minute. I'll be right back. Wants to go out. He wanted to step out. So what has happened let me explain this part as well. Let me bring it to this so we can see it too. Um, this is very important. Oxytocin is the chemicals that are inside of our bodies, are ours and also our dogs. So oxytocin is a chemical that is released when we feel good, right? Feel good hormones, love hormones, right? So I always say dogs have been bred by humans for humans, because dogs love humans and humans love dogs, and it's a great relationship that we have built together, right? Us and dogs, we really fit together, and we have been breeding good dogs, other than some bad apples in our kind, humankind, that are bad, breeding bad, puppy mills and all that. I'm not talking about those, but proper breeders, they have been breeding dogs properly, and we have good dogs in general. If you get a good dog from a good breeder, you won't have any problems. You will get good results from that dog. It's not going to be a challenging dog. But if you get it from a puppy mill or here and there, that you don't know how they bred this dog, how they came across this dog, how you ended up with that dog, then you have challenges and questionable situations. But in general, we have dogs who are good dogs, and we love them and they love us, and that interaction between us and dogs uh, activates the oxytocin, and we love that interaction. That's why I don't suggest using treats or food or aversive tools or methods to train or teach or build communication and connection and relationship with your dog, because dogs are already, and humans are already developed, and automatically they come with that desire to please humans. So it's very important for you to realize that and about it as well. So a research team from Sweden University, led by canine expert Brian Hare and Vanessa Woods, delved deeply into understanding how our modern lifestyle has affected dogs' genetic traits. Uh, Here are Hare, an evolutionary anthropology professor at Duke University, and Woods, manager of Duke Canine Cognitive Center Puppy Kindergarten program, provided new insight into evolving man-dog relationship. We're going to go through those in a moment. Just wanted to remind you who Brian Hare is. Brian Hare, I'm going to share the screen one more time so you can see who Brian Hare he is. Brian Hare is the person in the middle. He recently had a conversation with Dr. Karen Becker and Rodney Habib on Rodney Habib's the most popular the most subscribed Facebook page in pet industry, who's Rodney Habib's Planet Pets. I highly suggest you to go ahead and uh, follow this page. So that's Brian Hare. That's who has done this research. I wanted you to have a face regarding the information that we're sharing with you. So I think I need to make this a little bit bigger. Okay. The study, social behavior of dogs, the findings suggest that dogs with specific genetic variant of the oxytocin receptor responded stronger to oxytocin spray. This genetic variant made them more likely to seek help from their owners. This is very interesting too. There was a research that Dr. Brian Hare did, that he would hide, you know, there's a there's a documentary on Netflix if you want to go ahead and watch it. But basically, what he did, for example, I'll just give you a quick example of it. He hid some food inside of a container with a lid closed, locked, and gave it to these puppies. Some puppies were trying to figure out how to open this container. They couldn't open up. They would just continuously work on it until they could figure out something somehow to open this container, or they will never give up. There were other puppies who would briefly work on this puzzle and then give up and look at the human to see if the human could help them to solve the puzzle to open the container. So that's very interesting, right? Most dogs are seeking help from human. They're looking for help, tell me what to do. And that's very interesting for you to learn as well, that your dog is always looking for answers from you. Yeah. And that's naturally embedded, that uh, that intuition is being naturally embedded in your dog. And it's very good. It's a good thing, because it tells you that, oh, I need to inform my dog and teach and tell my dog what to do and what not to do. Your dog is very dependent on you, whether you want it or not. Fortunately or unfortunately, your dog is very dependent on you. They need your help, not just because they need you to help them to open a container, but to live a life. They need your assistance. So it's very important to get these two key points so far, that dogs are naturally enjoy human interaction, and also dogs naturally seek human help, right, from their owners. The concept of third wave of domestication is further backed by behavior difference noticed in service dogs. These dogs are a far cry from the active hunters or alert guard dogs. They are trained professionals suited for their owners' 21st century lives due to their uniquely friendly disposition. This is also very important for you to notice and pay attention, because what this tells us, this study as well, this part tells us that dogs, service dogs are kind of dogs that they help humans, whether able or disabled humans, to function. If a disabled human tends to drop something on the floor, that dog can go and grab it and give it to the human. So again, innate behavior has been developed in a dog that tells the dog that I need to help this human. So they naturally want to help us, and service dogs in this day and age, they don't go and hunt, or they don't guard or anything like that. But what they can do is they can help us. And every dog, I would say, can be a service dog. I believe this idea that we tend to categorize dogs in working breeds, non-working breeds, sporting breeds, and this and that. But I believe all dogs are working breeds. which means they can be literally and easily trained to serve us. Now, whether it's to serve us to sit on our laps, to give us that uh, confidence or calmness, or that uh, support, emotional support that we need from our dogs, or uh, if we are asking them to go and protect us, whatever it is, um, it's something that they can do it. Working dogs, they're all working dogs. So unlike most pet dogs, service dogs are attracted to strong stranger even as puppies, noted the researchers, and increased friendliness seems to have changed these dogs' biology just as it did thousands of years ago. So dogs being attracted to strangers, that means they're friendly with humans. It's very important for you to realize if you have a reactive dog, for example, who's reacting to strangers, understand that something has gone wrong in that either the breeding or the mentality of that dog, and it's not doing it to uh, piss you off, or it's not doing it to make you feel bad. It's doing it because something has gone wrong in its life. And naturally dogs are just, especially domesticated, naturally they are very friendly to humans. um, let's go to this part now, and I just mentioned this, but stray wolves adapted to humans settlement for predictable food source, gradually replacing fear and aggression with fascination and attraction to humans. The second wave of domestication began post the Industrial Revolution with the increase in disposable income. The bourgeois bred dogs for specific physical traits reflective of their status. And that was another thing that, if you know what bourgeois people were, they were the people who were wealthy, and they were saying, I need a dog that matches my lifestyle or something like that. They were breeding for show, in a way, uh, also, right? Now, the third wave of domestication started, let's see, for the happiness of a dog and their owners, humans need to breed and train more dogs like service animals, embarking on a new wave of dog domestication to help them fit into the new world we have created, noted the research. To meet the needs of this evolving uh, paradigm, breeding and training dogs akin to service animals will become increasingly important. So, in a way, in the third wave that we are now, um, what we have done, we have focused on developing dogs who are more of a service dog. So the first wave was a protection kind of dog. The second one was bourgeois, kind of all kinds of breeds of dog to fit our lifestyle. And third way today is more of service dog breeding. Service dog, yeah, I'm not talking about, only specifically dogs who have been bred for, disabled, unstable, um, able, um, emotional needs dog. No, yes, for that as well. But at this stage, we're getting dogs, and we're breeding dogs based on what does I just want my dog to be my companion, just hang out with me and just satisfy my needs, right? That's all the reasons, main reasons why we are kind of breeding dogs at the moment. And I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. We have to see it in near future. We can come back in I don't know 30 years and talk about it. Um, but what has happened is we have dogs who are being bred for no reason, um, mainly by puppy mills and mainly with breeders who are not qualified breeders and they just accidentally breed dogs. And we have certain dogs who are bred by good, legit breeders who are developing good dogs, but we also have dogs who are not standard to the breed and um, overall not healthy dogs as well. So that's the mix that we're getting now. And many dog owners are having challenges with these dogs because uh, first of all, our lifestyles has changed and dogs have changed. So it's a very, again, just like I would say, you know, as soon as we turned into 2000, the year 2000, we came to this modern lifestyle that we are now. Um, that is very confusing for many people. How to use computer and how to be online and all that is very challenging, confusing. It's the we are in the midst of this transition. So with the dogs as well, we are in the midst of this transition of um, different evolution, I would say. So we have dog owners who are challenging with their dogs because their lifestyle doesn't match the dogs, and the dog's lifestyle doesn't match their lifestyle. There. So what happens is, as I said, like I was talking to one of my clients yesterday. Uh, this client, for example, wanted their dog to walk nicely beside them, yeah, like a heel or without pulling and all that. But the thing is, if you have a breed that has been designed to work independently and walk freely and work independently, work freely and do whatever it wants, and then come back to the human. When you have that conflict, when you bring that kind of mentality from human that I want the dog instead of doing that, I want it to do this. It's an expectation that is not realistic, first of all, and second of all, uh, it's not something that you can get it within naturally and within few weeks. You have to teach that dog to learn this new concept, new behavior that I have to work close to human and I'm not supposed to be independent. I have to be depending on human, but I'm bred to do this on my own. Uh, and that's the conflict that we usually get when we deal with dogs in this day and age. And that's where most dog owners are having challenge with their dogs to the point that they're confusing their dogs to the point that the dog gets really stressed and anxious and then starts doing crazy stuff. And then as a human, we start using aversive tools and methods and concepts and ideologies that are not natural to help a dog. So it's very interesting and um, confusing time for us and the dogs as well. We have a comment or question from Wakia. I witnessed this in Miami as dogs were allowed most public spaces, even the Trader Joe's. I thought they are like ST but without the vest. Service dog without the vest. I mean, rural areas, so that was rare to see. Mm. Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that in I've, I've, I noticed it. I used to live in Europe for a little while, about 6 years. Um, there, dogs were a lot everywhere. I remember, going to a store to buy food-related store, and there was a person with dog coming in, doing their shopping and coming and going. You would see dogs in the coffee shops, sitting with their owners. Dogs were a lot everywhere, public spaces. In North America is limited in a way. Um, but I'm not saying that European lifestyle is the best, but in European lifestyle, uh, they used to allow, like as I said, dogs were part of a family's life. They were part of their working partner, family member. Um, I um, I remember learning that we used to not we used to humans used to keep the dogs, working dogs, outside. They would live outside. There were some breeds that they didn't want to come inside, and there are breeds that they don't like living indoors. They like to live outdoors. But there were breeds that they wanted to come inside and live with human inside of the house. So the human invited the dogs inside of the house. They started sharing the food, so the human was eating, was sharing the food with the dog. um, were living peacefully together. And then what happened, again, the second revolution that that happened, the second what you call wave of domestication that happened. uh, we created this lifestyle of city lifestyle, fast paced lifestyle, um, modern lifestyle, that we were starting to get to that level that we didn't farm much. We didn't live in the farms anymore. We lived in the cities. um, we didn't need the dogs, and we were going to work. We were busy, so companies developed fast food for dogs as well, introducing kibble, dry food, that we are still feeding your dog probably today. I'm not. And instead of feeding natural food that we used to eat, we replaced it with kibble. So that itself caused a lot of problems in our dog's health and well-being. So interesting concept, interesting research, interesting topic to talk about. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation. um, I'm starting to call it Dog Owners Coffee Lounge on Sorrow Dog Training channel. I'll be coming back in 2 weeks to talk about different different topics as well. So if you have any questions, leave those questions in the comments area. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share. And I hope you enjoyed today's topic and today's conversation. I hope you learned something. I hope you benefited from today's live session. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And until next time, have fun with your dog. Thank you. Thank you for being here as well. I'll see you later. Take care. Thank you.